Welcome to Healthy by Knowledge, the show that makes being healthy easy by showing you how. And I am your host, Zaid Shah. Now, the other day someone told me that he didn't like to eat bananas when the skin turned brown. Now, the skin didn't even have to be completely brown, but just a little bit. And that was enough for him to throw them in the bin. So that got me thinking, how many people must actually throw away bananas when the skin turns brown? And that's why today I'm going to show you exactly how to kill two birds with one stone in terms of avoiding the waste of food and preparing a deliciously tasty snack that you can have at any time of the day. And when I say that we're going to be avoiding the waste of food, I really mean it. Just take a look at these bad boys. And that's what I call ripe. What do we need? In one big mixing bowl, 300 grams of unrefined whole grain flour, 50 grams of oats, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda, full on Jesus. Make it a nice heaped tablespoon, a pinch of salt, and you just mix your dry ingredients together now. Mix them well in. Right, now that that's mixed, we're gonna get the wet ingredients and mix those up. So what do we need? We're gonna take our ripe bananas. Now, look how ripe this is. This is ridiculous. These are borderline rotting. Well, they're not exactly rotting, but they're really soft. They're really dark. As you can see, the skin is just literally turned black now. I don't know if you can see how soft this is, but it's just really soft. I mean, these are 3-4 weeks old. They've just been sitting around. And the fact that they're this ripe means that they're full of sugar. When my friend told me that he chucked his bananas away, I just thought, oh yeah, well, I got a few of those bananas lying around the house and you can make delicious muffins with them, so why not share the recipe with you? So just peel your bananas now. Look at that. Look at that. Now that's what I'm talking about. Why would you throw that away? I mean, you can use it in a smoothie or in muffins for baking, whatever you want, but don't chuck these bananas away. You don't have to eat them straight from the peel. Just put them in a dish. Do something with them. There's no point wasting food. If you get creative enough, you can always figure out a way to use the food that you have lying around the house. Just don't bin it. Who would have thought? Many people would have seen these bananas and just thought, you can't use that. Gotta chuck it. Now, you grab a fork and you mash the banana up. I mean, just the smell of it, you can smell the sweetness of the banana. It's great. It's exactly the consistency you want your bananas to be at when you're making these muffins. These muffins really are the business. You can have them for breakfast, you can have them for lunch, you can have them as a snack before dinner. They're full of fiber. They got cinnamon in there, which helps regulate your blood sugar. So when you eat these, your blood sugar is not going to be going off the charts. So it's just a really great snack to have all around. You can have it by itself, have it with a bit of peanut butter, and jam. You choose. I mean, really, truly delicious. Grab 2 eggs, then you mix that up. Right, once you've mixed the eggs up with the banana, now you want to add in the rest of your wet ingredients. Put in 60 centiliters of buttermilk, 30 centiliters of coconut oil, 130 grams of honey. Look at that delicious honey. If you don't have honey, you can also use maple syrup. And if you don't have any maple syrup or honey, you can also use sugar. But don't use that refined crap. Use some nice raw organic cane sugar. That'll do the job. And if you don't have that, well then you can use some other form of sweetener. Maybe some stevia or something along those lines. But in general, try and keep some honey around the house. You can use it in so many different ways and it's really good for you. Look for organic honey, because if you actually eat that conventional honey that you find in the supermarkets that's cheap, that's actually no good, because the honey isn't real honey, because the bees are actually fed high fructose corn syrup. So in reality, the honey that you're actually eating will be high fructose corn syrup. You want bees to be feeding off the pollen to really get that flavor and those nutrients. So keep an eye out for that good honey. Now this is optional, but you can add a little bit of vanilla extract, a teaspoon. If you don't have any, it's also fine, tastes just as good without. But I mean, having that little hint of vanilla flavor never does any harm. Just a cheeky teaspoon. Give it a good mix. Right, now that that's mixed, you just have to pour it into our dry ingredients, mix that up, and place it in our muffin molds. Just stick it in there. I mean, really, look how easy that was. We mixed up a bunch of dry ingredients. Then we mixed up a bunch of wet ingredients. Then we added the wet ingredients to our dry ingredients, mixed that up, and that's our batter done. That takes 5 minutes. And then you have a healthy snack. You won't be needing to eat those refined sugary foods that you find in those vending machines around the office. Here you got something nice and healthy and delicious that will keep for a couple of weeks if you keep it in the fridge. One tasty muffin coming up right now. Right, so now that the batter is nice and mixed, we're gonna grab our muffin trays and place the batter in the molds. So before placing the batter in the molds, we're gonna grab some coconut oil and we're gonna grease the molds. Use your hands, your fingers will do the job. And then just rub it on your hands. Rub it in! Okay, so here we go. 1 large tablespoon per mold should do it. Remember, these are gonna rise. If you don't have a muffin tray or muffin molds, you can just use a tin, a cake tin. It will do the same job. Don't think just because you haven't got the muffin molds, you can't make the recipe and choose not to make it. No, just use what you have that's available. The molds just make it look a specific way. You don't necessarily need these molds. Do what you can with what you got. Right, so now that that's done, we stick it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes on 165 degrees. Take a look at that. That's a little army of healthy muffins right there.